What's going on, y'all? It's your man Quincy Whetstone, aka Q Stone, and welcome to another episode of the BeatStreet Podcast. Before we get started, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all share, y'all like, hit the notification button, tell your mama and your daddy to tune in, because we about to get it on. What's up? I got my dude in here, man. I got BoppinBeats Productions.
Yeah, that's it.
BoppinBeats Productions, man. What's going on?
Man, nothing much. How are you?
Good. So, man, what is BoppinBeats? Tell me where you get the name from. What is BoppinBeats?
Well, BoppinBeats came about. So my nickname from my dad is Shunny Bop. That's that's the nickname. And when I started making beats, I started off DJing. I got BoppinBeats, and then I just shortened it down to the Bop. That's my producer tag, and that's how I
just from a nickname.
Yeah, from a nickname, because I'm like, I don't want to be named Shunny Bop forever.
Yeah. Shunny Bop kind of cool too. Yeah. What's how long you been doing it? How long you been making beats?
Oh man, shoot, I've been making beats for a while. I'm gonna say probably since I was like seriously making beats, probably since like 17. But I started at like 13.
Okay, so how did you get into it? Like, how did you just start doing it?
Playing drums at church. Playing drums.
Oh, you a drummer?
Yeah, I was a drummer.
Okay.
Then I stopped drumming for a while, me and a buddy of mine, and then ever since then, I think the first time I stepped foot in the studio, I was like, I think like 15, and then I saw all the equipment, everything similar to this, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah.
That's how I got started.
Yeah. So what did you first use when you started? What did you start making beats on first?
I first started on Reasons.
Okay.
That was the first software I had. I was like 15 years old.
Did you like hear about it first, or you just, how did you know?
Basically from my dad. So my dad knew a lot of artists already, a lot of Christian artists. They told him how to get started.
Okay.
And at the time, that was a software Dr. Dre was using at the time, and that was my favorite producer at the time. Okay. So my dad was like, well, I'm gonna go buy everything he got in his studio, to a certain extent. Okay. Because some of the stuff in his studio costs a bunch of money. Yeah. But he got me the basics of what I need and talked to them, and that's what I started with.
So do you still use Reasons?
No.
What you using now?
I use FL Studio.
Which one you like better?
20. I use FL Studio 20. 2022 getting ready to come out, but I'm using FL 20.
So once you started on that, you never went back to Reasons?
Nah.
Yeah. Nah. What makes that better?
I guess being in the hip hop world, it's a lot faster, it's a lot easier. That's really what makes it better. It's a lot of stuff you can do in there without having to like outsource to like Logic or Ableton. You can do a lot in there without going to a whole nother software.
So have you tried Logic before?
Yeah.
So what is it something on FL that has that Logic don't have that you like, man, if they had this, or what can Logic do?
Logic is user friendly, but I'm gonna say for Logic, for me, is mainly more for your vocals and recording. Not really for production work to make beats, but for vocals. Oh yeah. Logic all the way. Because
I'm at the point right now, because I've been using Logic for 10 years now, but I started out using Digital Performer.
I know about them.
So I think I might be ready to try something new, but I don't know what. Because Logic, it's cool, but I'm starting to feel like it does have some production limitations. So I'm thinking about going to something different next. But
FL Studio or Ableton, that would be my Ableton. Take a minute to learn though. Okay. But FL, you do it like this.
Yeah, it's just quick to make the beat.
It's quick. It's a lot of people gonna hate me for saying this, but it's a producer cheat code.
Well, so why is a producer cheat code?
So the reason I say a producer cheat code is, let's say like a guy like me, I don't play keys, but it gives you all your key scales, it gives you all this stuff, and it tells you where, your keys should be. And then it has like features in there where it'll create patterns for you, and you can just play with it from there. But you can make a beat in FL, a decent beat in like 10 minutes.
Dang. So hold on. So it's a cheat code because of the speed?
Yeah, the speed, like it's ridiculously quick.
I mean, explain to me what makes it quicker.
It's just the processing of everything you can do. Like there's just so much you can do so fast in there without little to no work. Like the software really do it all for you. It's just a few things you kind of got to do yourself, but the software will do everything. Like the new update, oh man. That new update is crazy.
I need examples because I'm trying to figure out when
all right, so the biggest one is because a lot of producers have problem with sampling.
Okay.
You drop it in FL, I can sample a song within 2 minutes. Versus I'm sitting there, I gotta listen for all my chops. It'll do it for me. I can it'll blend it in. You know, I might have to place it where I want it to be, but other than that, it'll do it for you instead of having you strip silence in there. It'll take the vocals out for you with just a click of a button. You don't even have to listen for it. It'll do it for you.
All right, let's give me something because I want to be sold on FL. That's nice. That's nice. What else?
A lot of people use it, so it's real easy. You know, if let's say like you got Omnisphere, I got Omnisphere, I might not have to export all my audio files out. If we got the same thing in there, I can just shoot you the FLP to you. You just open it up and it'll pop on your screen. But that's the only downside. Like if you don't have the same sounds or the same sound bank, it's not gonna pop up.
Okay, and that's because that's for like with what's the word I'm looking for? Collaborations. When you're doing collaboration. Yeah. So you talk often about doing collaborations. Yeah. So because I've collaborated with other producers, but I used to do it in the studio. But now it's like sending stuff off. Like explain that process.
It's you can get a lot more done. You get a lot more done. Like it used to be, you gotta go to the studio, work with the people, but now you can do it on the spur of the moment. Like I got we working on a placement now with a guy. The guy's not even from here; he's from Canada. Knocked the beat out, did my half, sent it to him. He working on it now. Probably by the end of the day, I'll have it back.
And that makes it a lot easier now. Huh?
Oh yeah, make it a lot easier, and it's a lot faster. It's just a lot faster process.
A lot of producers doing that now. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, collaborations, like we collab a lot, but we don't necessarily be in the studio all the time. I mean, you have your small selective few, and it is different. Even when you are in the studio, like you'll make some stuff different versus sending it out, but a lot quicker.
Yeah. So I want to learn more about this FL though. So you got the sampling process. You can strip silence. You can take out the vocals easy. Mm-hmm. It lines it up for you. That makes it quick. And what else makes it quick? Give me one more.
Makes it drums. Drums is a really big thing, and drums in there is super easy, super crazy to do some stuff in there. Like it's the workflow process is crazy fast.
When you're making your drums, because I know you do it different ways. Do you do pads or do you you line up the dots?
I'm gonna say I'm a clicker.
You're a clicker.
I don't use a keyboard.
Yeah, and
I can use it, but I don't. I just
and you pretty much mastered that process now, huh? You can just line them dots up and boom, boom, and line them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can do all that in there without having to play it on a keyboard or play it on a pad. I can just click, boom.
So, and that, because I know you can slide it over and just make a whole bunch of notes and all that stuff like that. Just and take some out as you want to and just kind of make that beat.
And sometimes even me, because I'm big on staying ahead of everything.
Yeah.
I'll take a day and I might just make a bunch of different 808 patterns, and it might just be in one key. Export them out as have my MIDI files, and then I just drag and drop into whatever beat I'm doing, and then I'll adjust from there, and then I'm like, boom, I'm done.
And what about 808 tuning? Like when you tuning your notes, how easy is that with that?
It's pretty easy. There's a feature in FL that comes with it that it'll tell you what key the 808's in, and you just shift it over to where it is, then you're done.
Yeah.
Or you can do it the long way and put it in a higher octave and listen to what sounds right.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't have to do all that.
So you got your beats made, right? And you trying to get them out to people. So what are some of your processes to promoting your beats, just getting them out, and networking and all that? What's your process for that?
My process, it varies on, I guess, who I'm trying to get to. My biggest process of when I'm reaching out to people, I usually do it beforehand. Like I'll usually try to reach out to people first, you know, or use the connections that I got or connections I got from other people. But it simply is just, I do a lot of Instagram watching. So I'm always constantly looking in, you know, people's stories. I'm looking for phone numbers, you know, I'm looking for emails, you know. A big one that I do a lot that helps me get a lot of placements, if I see a constant friend or a constant person always in your videos, I'm going to reach out to them first before I reach out to the artist, especially if they have a lot of followers. I might not get to you, but if I can get to your friend who got 1,000 followers, he might respond to me first before, you know, you respond to me. And then I might send him the beats. He plays the beats to you and he's like, oh man, it's hard. And then now the artist will reach back to me and be like, yeah, man, you know, I want to use this. So whatever the case may be.
Hey man, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So your process, so you look at not the main artists, because they could be too busy or they could be the one getting flooded with all the beats all the time.
Yeah, because a lot of them put they beat emails out in the open. And one thing I've learned from doing this for a while, you know, 9 times out of 10, the emails that are in their Instagram bios, they're real emails, but everybody knows they get flooded. So most artists or, you know, your A&R people or your managers have a whole nother set of emails that they actually check. And my goal is when I reach out to you, I might not send beats to that email first. I'm gonna reach out to you with my little template that I have, and 9 times out of 10, whoever the person is who's dealing with that, they're gonna send me a different email, and that's how I get my beats in the door versus sending them to where everybody's flooding a bunch of trash going to there or a bunch of mess, sending their own music. So I try to get those numbers are the real emails that they're actually gonna be checked.
And you said Instagram watching, because that's something different. You told me about that before. But when you say Instagram watching, what are you doing when you Instagram watching?
When I'm Instagram watching, one, I'm looking, you know, part of what I do sometimes, I search for like certain artists in certain cities, certain managers, certain people in different cities. See who's hot in that city, who's up and coming, that I might be able to get to now before somebody else get to hold to them. So, you know, I'm always constantly on Instagram looking for whoever's new. What helps me a lot, that a lot of people overlook, I follow a lot of cameramen and a lot of engineers. Because the cameraman, 9 times out of 10, he's going to get paid before the producer. So if I want to get to an artist, you know, I'm going to go to the cameraman's page who shoots video, and he's already going to have artists tagged, and I'm going to just go right there and just reach out to that artist there versus, you know, I might have to do too much searching.
Man, that's good. That's a neat, that's good thinking, man. That's a whole other like approach. It's like a side door approach.
Instead of trying to go to the direct source, you know, you just try to find a way, you know, try to get in there a little bit easier, because everybody's trying to get to the direct source. But if you can build a relationship with somebody else who might be close to them or whatever the case may be, you know, they'll help put you through the door.
Okay, so off top of your head, how many beats have you placed
this year?
Nah, just okay, let's go for this year.
This year, not as a ghost producer, because I ghost produce a lot. I've done at least 45.
Okay.
And that's major for a major artist, at least 45 for major artists.
Okay. And I say overall, you got a number?
Overall,
you gotta think too hard if you want to.
I'm gonna say overall, I definitely got more than about 200 plus overall, for sure.
Yeah. That's
probably in between small and big artists all together, like a bunch. And there's still some that I know that I get emails about that I'm like, oh man, I didn't know I did a beat for such and such. I'm like, oh well, there it is.
Yeah. So what's been your hardest thing, Yak? What's been your hardest challenge?
My hardest challenge right now is making sure, you know, I'm getting paid not only up front but on the back end, because the way I'm seeing a lot of stuff move now, because these producers, they make beats so fast and they get them out so fast that a lot of these artists, they'll record to your song and it might be a year, 2-3 years later, or it never drops, but they recorded to, so you can't get paid.
Right.
And then you also don't know if they actually used the beat. Like I had a situation about 2 weeks ago, sent the beat out to a guy about 2 or 3 months ago. Didn't hear nothing back because I reached back out to him. So I started shipping the beat out to somebody else because I didn't think he was using it. Get a call and he was like, man, we're using the beat for the album. Well, man, I just sent it to such and such and they willing to pay for it. So now I got to figure out how am I getting ready to do this situation.
Right.
I'm getting ready to do this situation now. So, I mean, they both was cool about it. I was able to work an agreement out with both of them. But, yeah, that's the hardest part, trying to get paid for your stuff. Getting or them stealing your stuff, taking your tags off, or, you know, remaking your beat so they don't have to pay you. They have their producers make the beat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That happened a lot.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. So, I mean, it's because I remember back in the day, it wasn't as many producers as it is now. There was a lot, but it wasn't as many. So, in comparison to producers and rappers, do rappers still outnumber producers now, or
producers outnumber rappers? And well, I guess if you want to get into the breakdown of it, because there's DJ Khaled said it best. There's a difference between a producer and a beat maker.
Right.
Most of us are beat makers. Now I've stepped into that role of being a producer. Like I can run an album from start to finish.
Yeah.
But first starting out, I was a beat maker. I wasn't really a producer. So yeah, we outweigh them. There's a ton of us, and everybody wants to make beats. I was watching a video the other day on FL Studio, and they were showing all the people who register. They was like, there's so many people registered, you know, with the FL account, even the cracked accounts who get them, who stole them. He said, man, there's so many people. He was like, it's making it hard. Like it's saturated, and then we all kind of make the same style of music. Yeah. So it's kind of like, man, so now you have to figure out you have to find your niche and what separates you from everybody else.
Yeah.
So
that's encouraging everybody. That's why I say always find your own style and your niche, man. Because if you're going with the trends, you're gonna be part of the many.
And that's one thing my dad told me. He was like, you know, yes, you know, go with what's going on, but also don't forget what your niche is and what you do. Like, keep that together. Yeah. Like, because you know what's hot right now is hot. Go ahead and make it, but also make what's not hot, what everybody's not feeling, because that whatever you're making might be the vocal on the starter point of a new wave of music that's coming out. So now, if you're the only one who knows how to make it at the moment, they're gonna come to you. Yeah. But then when that happens, you gotta be on to the next thing. Yeah. So you gotta be like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. Yeah. Trying to do whatever is the next thing, I guess, basically.
Right on. So your dad gives you a lot of advice. I hear you say that a lot.
He give me a lot of advice, you know, on the way, how I should move in the music industry, you know, how I should be doing a bunch of different things, you know, not only to protect myself, but to protect other people who are around me. Because, you know, the music industry is dangerous no matter, you know, where you working or what's going on. So, yeah.
So what you think about what's been going on with the dangerous side? Like, were you a fan of the Migos?
I wasn't a big fan. I'm not listening to their music.
Yeah.
I got a little something going on with them from being able to meet their managers, but yeah.
So how'd you feel about that? About what happened?
I think it was kind of dumb of how it happened. Yeah. But then again, it's just like you just gotta, like my dad always say, you gotta know how to move. You know, you can't do certain things. Like I was hearing some stuff about, you know, people posting their locations, posting where they at. I mean, that's one thing that was like told to me first off. Do not post where you're at. And if you do post where you're at, you 2-3 hours away from wherever it is. Even if you're not doing anything wrong. Right. Like, you don't want people to know where you are because you making yourself a target. And then, you know, for other people. So.
And that's a big thing now, because at first posting 1 year was cool. This is where I'm at. But now it's like, it don't turn to a whole other thing. Yeah. Like, especially if you somebody and you got something, you know, then
they have people who just watch. You know, they just watch. If they want to set people up and rob them or whatever, they just watch your Instagram.
And they Instagram watching for a whole nother reason.
A whole different reason. They ain't not to do nothing good. They just, oh man, he's gonna be at such and such. All right, we need to get over there.
Dang.
So it's It's crazy. The music industry is getting crazy. It's getting a lot more dangerous.
Yeah,
a lot more dangerous. That's why I start looking into doing TVs, movies, doing something that my lawyer like to tell me mailbox money.
Yeah,
we call it mailbox money.
Just come on in.
It just come in. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah,
none of that.
Yeah, it's this site I just stumbled across with some sites like that. You heard of a site called Pond 5?
I believe so. I don't know too much about it, but I believe so. I did hear about it.
And I know I'm giving promo stuff, but hey, I just talk about whatever. When it's a site that it's pretty much the music that people use for, like, those when they be doing those videos for like those big corporate videos.
Yeah.
And they got their music in the back.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff. It's where they go to get their music. Even commercials and stuff. It's just a big old thing, but it's just like a whole library.
Yeah. Dang, I forgot the one that I normally use off the top of my head. If I remember it, I'll say it out. But that's how I got for commercial for the Battle of the Bands when they came into Houston.
Okay.
They used my beat for one of their ads.
Okay.
So same thing, upload beats. They found it, boom, use it.
Yeah. And that's a cool way, I think, man, because I'm considering getting into that for that reason, for the mailbox money. Like, let me just have some stuff, man, and people can use your music, have it which way, and you just get money from it, man. It's pretty cool. All right. So you use FL Studio. Yeah. So tell me your beat making process, because you about to get ready to jam one of your tracks, man.
Beat making process is very it fluctuates from whatever how I feel, but for the most part, either I am kind of real big on loops.
Okay.
I'm real big on loops because one, like, I don't play the keys very well. I play enough to where I can build around stuff, but
okay.
Yeah, my keys, and like I said, it goes back to my preparation. I have a lot of MIDI files that I keep on deck that are drum patterns, different 808s, different snares, different hi-hats.
Yeah.
Then, I just kind of click and drag them in, do some minor tweaking.
Yeah.
Because I had to learn how to, I had to work fast.
Yeah.
My very first studio session, I would never forget. I got invited to a studio session, and it was like 20 producers in there. And we were making beats. I forgot the guy's name at the time, but he was pretty big, and he was signed to a label, and we got invited to there. And they was like, "Man, you got 15 minutes." Like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make 2 or 3 beats in under 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so that's a guy, and they was like, "Hey man, take too long. Get up." And then they didn't like it either. So
yeah.
But it was an older gentleman there, and he told me, he was like, "Man, the biggest thing that I tell people who first getting in," he said, "You need a prep." He said, "Because the way music goes and how fast these artists want beats and how fast you guys make them, like, you got to be able to do it quick." So he was showing me, prep, take a day off, and if it's a Sunday, Monday, whatever day, find you a basic loop or a basic pattern and make a bunch of different 808 patterns or a bunch of hi-hat patterns. So now you drag them into a folder, which kind of big in the tight beats for a lot of people because everybody kind of wants to sound like somebody. So I have folders that might be like if Future type beats or Young Thug type beats or whoever the artist is.
Hey, that's good. This is good information, man. So now it's about speed. It ain't about they want it pumped out. Like,
yeah, it's about speed and trying to stay under these people's budget. So what hurt the game right now? It helps. For me, it helps. But what hurts the game is leasing beats.
Yeah,
It's leasing beats.
Yeah.
I got a beat now that I get leased all the time, but nobody wants to pay for it. And unless they're like, I can pay $100 versus $1,000. Most of them are gonna pay that $100, and they're gonna get a bunch of money from it at the same time.
Yeah.
Even though they don't really care about owning beats or getting the cut. They don't care about that. They just want to get their music out, get their money.
Yeah.
Go about their business. It's really how fast you can get this stuff out to people. That's it.
So how much are people actually willing to pay for an exclusive beat right now? What's the range?
Man, it's difficult. It's hard because people, they fighting with them budgets and them prices.
Yeah.
And they looking because I had a guy tell me the other day, He signed to a nice little label. He told me the other day. He said, "Man, I'll just get somebody else who can make it cheaper." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What?" But it make you realize you got to try to stay competitive. I mean, most of the producers that I know, even some of the bigger producers that I work with, some of them have dropped their prices down because a lot of the bigger artists don't even want to pay that price because I can go find a dude off I'm not gonna say the website, but most of us use a website that we post our beats on, find something that sounds similar to it, and he's charging $20. Great example. I think he was 14 or 15 years old, something like that, around that age. The Panda beat that was made for Designer. On a website, he bought the beat. He actually bought the beat. I think it was $100. He bought the beat exclusive for $100. Song blows up. Dude doesn't really get too much for it.
He doesn't get his publishing for it.
And most of them don't. And most producers don't do their paperwork either.
They don't. Like, they just want to get on.
They just want to get on and just say, "Oh man, I got a song with such and such." That's cool. You got a song with such and such, but you ain't putting the money in your pocket. Yeah, you just gave it away for free.
Because
make a beat for free.
I'm willing to sell it as long as if that's what it is. My publishing got to be there.
But most artists don't even know about that. Yeah, they leave so much money on the table. It's ridiculous. They just be, "Oh man, I made this song. Boom, put it out." So now that's when you get people who come in and they gonna try to capitalize off of because you don't know anything. Yeah, we'll give you $50,000 advance. We'll give you a watch in the chain. Lo and behold, we about to keep all your money. And you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing.
And you think you getting money. Yeah, you ain't getting no money.
Yeah, man. All right. So what? Okay, let's go ahead and get on one of these beats, man. This first beat we gonna play is called put my light on. Up next.
Yeah, that's. So, I just did that not too long ago.
Okay. All right. So we going down this Up Next by BoppinBeats on the BeatStreet Podcast. Here we go.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly.
That's my favorite sample, man.
George can't hit what his hands can't see. Now you see me, now you don't. He think he will, but I know he won't.
The bop on the beat, baby.
George is good, but I'm twice as nice.
Hold on, man. I hear you. It make you when that mug drop down. It make you kind of want to. It make you want to like you creeping or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. All right, that was jamming, dog. That was jamming. Let's see. Let's see what we got. We got You Can Have It. So I always ask everybody. So how you name your beats? Whatever come
to my head. Like, I got stuff in my laptop. I might call it cereal or whatever.
Yeah, just whatever.
When you make so many beats, like it's just hard to just name, just give a name of what you think it is or what you think. And sometimes, I might come up with a hook in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds good, and that's what I might name it. And I might send the beat out. Yeah, I'm like, hey, here's a hook idea. So now they be like, I like your hook. Well, now you got to pay me as a writer now. Because I wrote a hook for you.
Because I really believe that even though it's something just at the moment, I still think that name connects to that beat. Because it just
sometimes
it comes out like, what it do? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Getting down or downtown.
And then it's easier for us to find too. Yeah. Like it's easy for us to find on our laptops.
All right. This next one is called You Can Have It. Here we go.
The bop on the beat, baby.
So when you did that sample in FL, did it line it up? I mean, how easy was it to do that, to put that in there?
Probably was like 5 minutes.
Boom.
5 minutes. Because with that original beat, it actually started off with just drums because it was for another artist.
Okay.
And then they was like, man, I want something like a sample or something, because it was just drums. I sent them because they wanted that at first. And then I don't know where I found the sample from. I just found the sample and I just, let me chop it up real quick.
Yeah.
Put it in there, did a little chopping, did some stuff to it, and then threw some keys on it. And it was like, man, there you go.
So does FL find the key of the sample too?
Yeah.
And then can it match the keys of such, like if the
you gotta kind of do that part yourself.
Okay.
But I mean, that cuts down on your time.
Yeah,
having to figure out stuff. So
all right, we got one more, man. We gonna play they say Astros.
Yeah, that was right when they had one.
All right, so you
they had one that same night, and I had made that.
All right, here we go. This called Astros. Here we go.
The bop on the beat, baby.
Man, I like that. I like that 808 tone. I like that one. It's my favorite one. It's just kind of solid. It's kind of knock a little bit. Mm-hmm. Man, you gotta send me some 808 drums, man. I can put some on, man.
I got you. I got a bunch of them.
Send me some with this tone. I like this tone better.
Well, that actually came from a kit I dropped in January. I dropped my own drum kit. That's actually from my drum kit.
What it's called?
It's called the Bop.
The Bop.
Yeah.
All right.
It's called the Bop.
So I need to get the Bop.
Yeah, you need that kit.
I need to download it.
That kit is made from scratch. I made that kit from scratch.
I'm gonna download the Bop. Like
it drops in January. It's gonna drop in January on my birthday on the 13th. I had been working on it about 2 years now. I've been working on this kit. Learning how to make sounds from scratch. So I learned how to make that from scratch and come just like
I like that knock right there, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, send me some, cause I ain't gonna must lie, man. I can do a lot of stuff with beats, but my weakest thing is 808s, and I'm from the South. But cause I don't work with them a lot, so I never developed that. Now I'm saying that
cheat code for him, man. Outside of YouTube,
this
how I learned. All right, so this how I learned.
Okay,
this how I learned how to make beats. This how a lot of us learn how to make beats. So they got these they call kits, producer kits, and you usually get a MIDI file, and they usually label them, by the type of style of artist. And so when I first wanted to learn how to make, because my favorite producer is Southside from 808 Mafia. I said if I ever get a chance, I'd sign with them. Like that's my favorite group. And I wanted to remake. This is how I learned about these kits. I wanted to remake March Madness by Future, and I didn't know how they did the drums. So I Googled one day, 808 patterns, and that's how I learned about MIDI. And you can buy these packs, and you click and drag into your in your DAW. It shows you how they, where everything hits. So from then on, I was like, this is how you make different types of 808s. So then I started getting different ones. Well, how do I make my 808s roll outside of using YouTube? Just I can visually see it, and I was like, that's how I did it.
Yeah.
That's how I did. And they got a bunch of free ones you can buy. You can always get free kits. Download
and you get the MIDI, and you just
drag and drop.
Drag and drop the 808 in there.
And that's what usually goes back to helping with your speed process. Yeah. You get an artist come to you, and you want to make something quick for them, just drag, because you got these files, and you see one of these numbers. Yeah. All right, he like it. I'm going to add a few little things, 10 minutes. Done.
And that's you know what? That's a part of the game. I'm learning something today because that's a part of the game. Because I worked with some artists about 2-3 months ago, and the beat came out pretty good. But I felt like I was taking a long time to do it because of the style and just kind of working with the 808s. And if I just had like that pack, what you call it? Those templates already of my rhythms and stuff. I can just slide them in. That's what it do.
Or you even can do the collabs, you know. If your strong suit not 808s, like my strong suit not samples.
Yeah.
I ain't the best sampler. I can do it, but no.
Okay.
I'll send it to somebody else who can sample. I'm like, hey man, do this real quick, and they send it back to me. I put the drums on it. We done.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got to split it, but
yeah,
we got to finish. It's finished.
It ain't just sitting on the computer undone.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's all right, man. So what you got? What's your goals right now? What you working on? What you trying to do? What you trying to get to?
My biggest goal, you know, yeah, getting placements is cool with artists and stuff, but my biggest goal now is to start stepping into TV, start stepping into movies, stepping into video games, you know, doing that, and, you know, just kind of doing something other than just working with artists. Like, I want to get everywhere. Like, one big thing I've started to do now is working with companies for beats. So I do a lot of beats for real estate ads right now.
Okay.
So when they're walking through showing the houses, I might have some, you know, lighter melatonin beats, but, you know, still a little drums to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they showing the house, because I'm like, music is one of those things. You can put music on anything. Anything.
And now I just saw it because music is like you say, it's being used differently now. So you got to think outside. People not just using music for just songs and stuff. It's like
it's drawing attention.
It be some dope beats on like a regular commercial, like and I'm like, man, that beat jamming on that commercial.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's what it is, you know. And for reels and stuff and all that stuff, man, just little clips and everything. It's about clips. How can I? So that's a good way to kind of. That's pretty much the future. Like, just making music for other things besides songs.
Yeah,
because people. That songs, there's millions and millions of songs now.
Yeah, there's tons and tons of artists, good and bad.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
everybody needs some music on something, cooking show, anything.
Yeah. So give me your top 5 producers that you listen to, like that your top 5 favorite producers.
For sure to be Southside. That's my favorite one. That's number 1. Number 2, he's actually a producer that I work with. His name is Barlos on the track. He's actually from here, from Houston.
Okay.
Another guy, I like his production style. Definitely, his name is Cam Taylor Beats. I like him. He's from Houston as well. And who else would I would say? Niles. His name is Niles. He's from Memphis. And then I guess, and my last person would definitely have to be. I'm gonna put them together. Dr. Dre and Timbaland. I'd have to put them together.
Yeah.
I'd have to put them together.
Yeah. That's the legends. That's the. Yeah, that's it too. All right. So yeah, man. So where can people find you? Where you at, man? Where's BoppinBeats?
On Instagram at the Bopp_21. That's usually all my handles right there. At the Bopp_21.
And you DJ?
Yeah. Well, my DJ page is BoppinBeats_production.
Yeah.
That's where I do most of my DJ stuff. So
all right.
I try to keep them separate, because I don't want to flood my DJ page with beats or my beat page with DJ stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where you'll find most of everything tied in together. Then if you click on one of the links on one of my pages, it'll pull up TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all that.
Yeah. So you still youngin'. You still young.
Yeah.
So
I'm like 24.
So what advice would you give the 13-year-old that's started making beats? He done fell across FL or whatever. What advice would you give them?
I would say learn, soak it up, but before you start sending stuff out, try to learn the business side or protect yourself as much as possible. You know, because that's a big That's a big thing. Yeah, it's cool or whatever, but if you don't have your paperwork in order, you get took.
Yeah.
I got took for my first beat because I didn't have my paperwork in order, and it did really well.
And when you say protect yourself, paperwork.
Yeah. Making sure you registering your beats.
Registering your beats.
I copyright all my beats. I copyright them.
Copyright your
everything.
beats.
Have your contracts together, you know, of like, so in my emails, you know, your terms and agreements.
Yeah.
You know, if anything gets used out of this email, you know, what can happen, you know.
And you get that from, did you do it yourself, or you got a lawyer to write it up for you?
Both. And the one that I actually wrote up myself was pretty good right off the top. She gave me some changes, like to add all my BMI information in there right off the top, because when you work with major artists, they're not calling you back half the time.
Yeah.
They're gonna register and you're gonna get that alert. Oh, cool, my beat I use.
Yeah.
But you have to be on your P's and Q's, because if you got a beat website like me and you put the same beat you sent to somebody else on the website and they say they use it, you got to be on it immediately to take it down.
Yeah.
And then, but I've gotten better that I don't put the same stuff on my website. I don't send out to people.
Okay.
I usually don't send it. That way it cut down on confusion.
Do you get like a lot of hits on your site right now?
Me, actually, no.
Okay.
Mine's more through the Instagram thing of me
Okay.
reaching out to people, or, you know, me popping up. I pop up at a lot of free shows.
Okay.
A lot of free shows, a lot of open talent shows, because you never know who knows somebody. And they were like, man, it might not be my style of genre, but I might, such and such, I know him, I can get you in the door.
So how are you sending your beats? Are you telling them to come to you to like to go to your sites? How are you like showcasing your beats?
So if usually through Instagram, like I post like a minute clip on my Instagram page.
Okay.
I always post in my story all the time. But when I send them, I used to do emails and phone numbers.
Okay, and you send like a pack, or
Give or take, depending on, you know, what it is. It might just be it just really depends on the severity of the situation. But most of the time, if I'm reaching out to you, I'm gonna send you a sample of probably like 5 beats.
Okay.
And then, you know, I cover my own self with a text message or a term and agreement in the text message, because it's not an email. And, you know, and I just keep up with it that way. But I track a lot of my beats too, so I know when they get used.
All right, man. Man, appreciate you coming on here, man.
Appreciate you having me.
BoppinBeats was in the house, man. Got some good information what's going on out here in this beat making, producing world, man. So I appreciate you coming on, man. And thank you for sharing all that with us on the BeatStreet Podcast. Already, it's your man Quincy Weststone, aka Q Stone. And y'all don't forget to share, like, tell your mama, tell your daddy about the BeatStreet Podcast already.